weekend. Glad to be back, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, as we can see, overnight inventory is pretty much 100% net short. We see here that the settle was 41.3350. Adjusting the thing. All right, we left some single prints. We did finish the day on a spike to the upside, kind of letting us know that possibly that auction wasn't done being open, or done auctioning up. We did get a fairly decent reaction and then closed back down into volume. And actually we got the point of control to shift up at the end of day, which is sometimes letting us know that we may have been getting a stronger reaction from a larger time frame trader. You can see overnight inventory 100% net short, and we're trading down towards the low here so far to kind of start out the morning with about what do we got, about 14 minutes left until the session opens. Some key levels just going down. We do have these single prints from Thursday last week. We do have, value higher, and we kind of just opened, closed that gap, and then continued higher on Friday. And I think that was kind of mostly just the final squeeze of inventory getting out. Let's go ahead and take a peek at we'll start on the monthly real quick. So if we look at the monthly, you can see the monthly's an inside month. It really hasn't, no change has really happened yet. What we'd be looking for if we should break this high would be a reaction from this previous monthly balance up here. That would probably be looking around that 4,300-ish level, or probably this high up here. If they are not able to break the high, right, we could just continue balancing, looking down for support. Remember that this low here is going to be a similar target. You can see I've drawn a little bit of trends. These are from the daily levels. Just a little downtrend, a little uptrend, and you can see the market's getting a little bit tighter. Typically, when the market starts to balance, overlapping, right, and it's kind of what it looks like it's doing here. We have kind of overlapping balance areas. Can typically tend to tell us that the trend is getting a little bit old, right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see if buyers do try to step up and look to see this top. The market did look kind of strong leading into Friday, but we do have to take everything with a grain of salt. You can see here the weekly is one time framing up for the third week in a row, so we'll see where we open. Right now the market is sitting at 4104, so we're opening up down here. 4104 is like right here, so we're opening up inside the previous week's range. As far as the daily goes, the daily is one time frame 1 2 3 4 days in a row, and this is that balance area that I'm talking about. This is that previous balance that we're entering. You can kind of see an equilibrium pretty much, right here above this the previous month's high, and that's could be the sign that these prices are. I drew that top line pretty shitty, but could be a sign that we are getting that reaction. We definitely want to look back for that, right? Remember, we have this balance area down below, so came up, tested an upper balance. If they get a strong reaction, their target will be back down into this balance, which would be around that 39.75 level. I did want to take a peek at the COT report real quick because I didn't do it. I meant to put it in, but I forgot. We can see dealers added to their longs and also added to their shorts, so they were absorbing some of that on the way up. Asset managers cut some of their shorts on the way up and added to their longs, and you can see leverage money just added to the short position and cut some of their long position. So leverage money is still relatively short, not relatively, like really short still. Take a look at dealers, right? Dealers are starting to get up here about even with asset managers, but leverage money continued to move down here. We also had, if we pull this up, you can see the volume increased on this way up, and now we're seeing a increase in open interest as well. So that's not really necessarily great for the upside when volume is increasing and open interest is also increasing. Uncle Stacy, good morning. Cam, good morning. Adam, good morning. Kevin, good morning. Gals, good morning. Double R, yo, yo. Hope you had a good weekend. I did. Yeah, we had a nice time at the beach. Patrick, good morning. Let's go ahead and share the stream real quick. Kevin, good morning. All right, we're shared up. And let's go ahead and get this party started. Who's ready? Got 9 minutes until the market opens up. All right, first call is open, so now we're ready to start the week. Let's see what we can get. Let's take a peek real quick around the block, also at some of our bigger names. Let me open this and update this open interest real quick. Open output gamma level. Deal here. All right. So we could see Apple's trading a little bit lower, getting the day started. AMD earnings this week is trading up. Amazon, right? Amazon still has a huge gap. Dow's not really doing anything. Google's really kind of lagging behind this, the rest of the market for the most part. Meta is just, just doing what it's doing. It's dying like we've just been waiting for. Microsoft just trading inside Friday's range as well. Netflix trading a little bit down, and then Tesla trading up, right? Tesla's been really strong. Tesla and Amazon really have just been the two strongest ones. I mean, besides Apple, naturally. Apple really closed the gap. And then, something to show you guys real quick. If we take a look at this, if you guys didn't check out the trade view, when we look at this year-to-date performance here, you can see just last week, if you had looked at any of them, we were pretty much, except for Apple, all down below 20%. And now they're all kind of climbing up, besides Meta, right? Meta's worthless, above this 20% level, right? So that bear market level that they all say. Double R, good morning. Right? So just something to think about, right? Something that I'm kind of watching, something that's been intriguing to me with especially the morning going on. Roach, good morning. Adam, good morning. All right. Messing around a little bit. Who is ready to get this week? Hopefully everyone had a good weekend as well. Remember we have PMIs. Alex is ready. Hand up. We have the PMI coming in this morning. And then also that's at 9:45 and then at 10. Right, so 9:45 in 16 minutes we have manufacturing PMI. And then at 10, we have the ISM Manufacturing Employment, ISM Manufacturing PMI. So these could be decent size or decent movers early on. So it'll just be something that we want to make sure that we're paying attention to. TJ, what's up, man? And shout out to TJ. He passed his funded account trading this past week. So he is now officially a funded trader. Congratulations once again. Really, really good job and well done. What do we got? We got about 30 seconds till the market opens up. So it looks like we're going to be opening up anytime, TJ. And hopefully, just the only thing I ask really is just pass it on, pass it forward, share the message. So it looks like we're going to be opening up inside yesterday's value, right? Typically when we have an open inside the previous day's value, we get a bit choppy before the market feels itself out. Here's the open. So the initial move is to the upside here. A little bit of resistance there coming right into that point of control, that 4109 here. Remember, my profile is still on 2 ticks. The VIX is still up above 20. It's at 2278 here. Call counts are coming in. Oh, counts are coming in very slow. Tommy, good morning. Push back down underneath of the open here. So look to see, I mean, we're just still within yesterday's value, right? So we can honestly, still utilize this A low as the excess, and then the M high as excess to the upside. Typically, when we open up with inside yesterday's value, what will need to happen before the market can really make a decision or decides to make a decision is that it's going to need to trade below the value, the previous day's value, or above the previous day's value to kind of decide if those sellers or buyers that are were there before on Friday are willing to step up or to step down as well as they were on Friday. So we're seeing a weak spot on the profile to the upside here, the 275 or 275. Yeah, 275 or 41 275. Market bids down. Another weak spot on the profile here. You can see where that offer was at right here, right? Right on the 4,100. Volume still coming in down here at the lows. Little short covering on this 97.50. Let's see if they can keep pushing it through. Looking for sellers to be able to move down. You're coming right next to that value area low here from Friday. Volume's coming in. So shorts cover at that 975 there. 97.75, excuse me. Looking to get above the half back, the 103 quarter here. So already starting to have a kind of double distribution feel here, right? Really thin spot in the middle. You've got volume coming in at the top. We've got volume coming in at the bottom. So let's say we come back down to this 97 again, and we're not able to break through it. That looks like an opportune moment with your stop just below the previous day's value area low. And you'd be targeting, that half back. That's the weak spot on the profile and the open there. And then, even the high of day, depending upon how many lots you're running. So it breaks through. There's the open. Volume coming in, so you're going to look to see rejection. There's a little bit of selling up there. That does look like buyers are trying to buy the open. That kind of looks mechanical here on this open. So if you're in this long here, just be careful. We traded back over this thin spot of volume, which kind of tells us that sellers weren't really willing to move down to sell that Globex low yet. Remember, overnight inventory is 100% net short, so it wouldn't be surprising to see a little bit of short covering also at these lows. Counts are coming in. Bought into a call count for AMD. Nice. See, Apple's trying to get above its Globex high. Well, its Globex high is actually kind of up here, but it is trading to the upside. A little peak around the block, though. The dollar's down, Bitcoin's down, oil's down, ES is still down. Gold is actually up 0.25. Nasdaq's down, Russell's down, Dow's down, bonds are up 0.08. Back to that point of control. So you can see there's some people selling that Friday's point of control there. Remember the buying here on this last open was mechanical too, so we want to be careful with this one. Apple's down 0.25, AMD's actually up 0.2, Amazon's down 0.65, Google's down 1.3, Meta's down 1.8, Microsoft down 0.9, Netflix down 0.8, Tesla is actually up 2.75. So Tesla is really the strongest one that we're seeing today. So let's go ahead and just keep watching Tesla for now and see if it can get any more moves. You can see the breadth right here in the NYSE. So a little bit of struggling going on from the unweighted, it looks like from the unweighted sectors here. You could see that advanced decline has dropped down pretty low here, almost down below that 350, which isn't a great sign if a lot of the weaker stocks are selling off. It's showing a little bit of market weakness, right? We've seen a little bit of market strength, especially from our tech sectors, but we've got big earnings this week, and I could pull up some of the earnings names that we do have coming into this afternoon. I posted them here. So we can see today Devion, Pinterest, Activision, right? AMD's tomorrow, Uber's tomorrow before. We've got JetBlue, SoFi, Starbucks could be a decent move. Under Armour, some energy companies. Jared's favorite right here, Lucid. My favorite right here, DraftKings on Friday. AMC, I'm sure this is a really big awaited earnings for a lot of people at AMC. Right, a lot of people holding on to AMC for dear life here. So still the market not willing to sell below here. TJ, have you started using that trade copier? And if so, do you like it? So back into the weak spot above that point of control. I'd like to see it hang above this 4110. Start to get some volume up here if we're going to get some continuation on the upside. Or we've got that Globex point of control up here about 4119, very prominent point of control. The VPOC sitting right below at 4118. And then we did have some single prints on Friday that we traded below. So it looks like some of these shorts that got trapped in the session on Friday are doing what they know how to do best lately, and that's cover. Sellers trying to come down here and sell this 11. Buyers stepped up. So that's exactly what we wanted to see right here. Let's see if they can hold this 10 here. Target would be up here at that 19. Buyers being aggressive. There we go. Weak spot on the profile is the 1250 here. Then they rally it up. Nice. Another weak spot on the profile up here. About the 14. Tesla, look at Tesla just ripping up still. Almost back to 1,000 after a split. What? I mean, Elon must have just heard our stream when I said Tesla's gonna go to 0. He's like, go to 0. I'll show you go to 0, bitch. So a little bit of offering coming in up here around or right at this Globex point of control here. So if you're still running this long, I mean, we're still safe, right? I've got my stop at 1450 here. We're still looking pretty decent here. Remember, we've got some data coming out here in about 3 minutes, 9:45. So just be careful. Crypto Mojo, good morning, good morning. How are you? Weak spot on the profile down here is at 14, so if they get below there, they're going to look to do some little backfilling. See how weak the profile is around this 14 area. But every time we take a tick down, buyers seem to be stepping up here. The next thing that we'd like to see is we'd like to see them look to test this value area high. If they break over this Globex point of control, that's at 41.24 there. And that would be like we talked about, right? They got down right to that value area low. Buyers stepped up. So we want to see if these sellers that responded with this spike, right? We know that this selling tail is typically a response from sellers pushing the market down, especially how we traded back down into value yesterday, right? If the market was really strong, we would have just kept trading up. If these sellers are willing to sell at the top of value. Volume still trying to pour in here. Moving my stop to 1575 here. That seemed to be where these sellers tried to offer and they got kind of cut off. So a little bit of a response here from sellers at the top, though, right at that 19. That's that overnight point of control. Very mechanical. Big buy order on the 16 quarter, 120 lots. Counts for the call put are 1153. The bot just did its double down, Uncle said. So there's that decent reaction right off that Globex point of control. Sellers trying to sell again here, it looks like. So manufacturing PMI came out pretty much even. No real change there. A little bit of
I got a question.
backfilling.
I
Oh,
got
go
a
ahead, Dre.
question for you, Brad.
Yeah.
Okay, so I traded 2 odds on the MES.
Okay.
I got in at 4,100 and got out at 4,118.
Okay.
Where do you think would be a good entry? Because I don't want to short this market today right now, and I want to get back in. So I was wondering where would be a good entry to get back in, like 4112?
So that's a tough, that's a tough question to answer, right? If you look at the market structure, right, this 4110 is a decent area because that's where the point of control was at yesterday. So really they shouldn't let the market, if buyers are willing to step up and continue to push value higher, they really shouldn't let us get below this 4110. But see, the thing is you're kind of looking for a trade instead of watching the market, and that's not that's gonna be
That's not
bad.
it.
Right. Yeah. And it's not like I don't know, it's just not something that I really like to do. I don't like to tell people when to get in or where's a
Yeah,
good spot to get in. You've got to look at the market structure, and then even then it's all based on context where it depends what's happening at that area, right? And then
because I just feel like there's so many orders up here that like people are willing to trade up here at these prices, right? So I feel like value is obviously building higher. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it feels safer in a long than a short, I should say.
right.
Way easy
And it kind of
when you do.
sounds like you're still focusing on price and not
No, I'm looking at value. I'm looking at orders trading up here at this price.
Right. But so our point of control is still down here at 4106. So if we get a shift of point of control and price stays above that point of control, that would show that value. But really, you know, until we start to get a little bit more time spent up here, because time is what really confirms the well, I mean, I guess value is confirmation, but or volume's confirmation, but time is really what provides us the information that we need. And so like if you took a trade from 4100 to 4118, right, that's a great trade, and I would just, you know, be patient and let the market kind of work itself out. I know it seems like that you know that, you know, you're like, oh, if I feel like I'm gonna miss it, excuse me, I feel like I'm gonna miss it or something like that. But you know, in reality, the key is you've got to be just paying attention to developing value. So if we get that point of control shifting up, that would be your confirmation, and then that's when I would start looking for another entry. If I wasn't still in, I'd look for another entry to get a continuation higher. But like I said, if it trades down to like 4112 like you're looking for, and buyers don't show up, it could easily trade all the way back down to 4106, which is where the point of control is at, or 4108 where the point of control is at.
Gotcha.
Come on, Brad. Just tell us when to get in and out. Make this easy for us.
Yeah, that's just not really something that I'm interested in doing. Because
Now you're getting it.
I've done it before where I've done that, and then I just get so many messages after, um, you know, like, oh fuck, you told me this and blah blah blah, and then, you know, people just try to make it seem,
Look at my kids' college.
yeah, exactly. And I'm just not, you know, that's just not something I'm trying to do, and you know, not something I want to do. If I wanted to do that, I could just charge like all these other people online for signals, and you know, everyone could just take the same trades as me, and you know, then you could all either do how I do or not. But it's just not, you know, it's just not something that I want to do, because it's just, you know, useless stress that I don't need in my life, basically. Brad, could you explain how time regulates in this statement? Price advertises, time regulates, and volume confirms or rejects. Yeah, so that's something that Jim Dalton would say all the time. So price is an advertisement, right? So when we think about this, you're talking, you know, I like to use the computer monitor since most of us are trading virtually. You know, I don't know if anyone in here is trading like on the floor, but so as we have the price, this is advertisement. So imagine if I'm selling a computer monitor here for 4118, right? And we're basically trying to decide, is this a fair price? Is this a price where people are deciding, okay, this is how much a TV costs, right? The more time that we spend here, and this is where he says time regulates all the opportunity, the more time that we spend here is typically how much opportunity you have to trade at this price, right? And so if we spend more time, typically it will say that this price is accepted, more or less. And then volume is confirmation, right? So if we get a lot of volume, or volume continues to increase on the move up, then that is typically going to let us know that buyers are, in this case, willing to step up and move price back to the upside, right? It's like I mean, it's like it's just ongoing, right? So sometimes we're gonna get like, so right here, right, we didn't get as much volume as we did down here, so not as many buyers that were willing to buy down here were willing to buy up here, right? We're still in that first period. We've got about 8 minutes left, you know, and so this could have been a pause with these mechanical sellers selling this point of control, this Globex point of control, and then some short covering that popped in, right? Confirmation, and now we're getting back to Friday's value area. And this would kind of tell us that, nice. This would kind of tell us, or what we'll be kind of looking for is looking for sellers that were selling up here in the spike to move down and sell in yesterday's value. And so when you talk about time regulating opportunity, because the cash session is only from 9:30 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when the settle is, right? Goes all the way till 5 during the settlement period. This thing's just a ripper. Right, so that's where he's talking about regulation of opportunity, because that's the cash session, and typically that's when the larger traders trade. AMD just popped again. Call counts are starting to pick up. But then something like, so if we get this move up, right? So we're getting a move up. We're getting above yesterday's value area. If buyers are willing to step up, we should see volume confirm the move, right? And that's why, I mean, in reality, at the closer we get to this spike, the less willing I am to add to my long position, right? Still have a long, I've taken profit along the way. Weak spot in the profile here I'm looking at is 24.50 to about 24. But I'd like to see volume continue up without really any retracement, and just get volume to build here, especially above these single prints. That lets me know a lot of these shorts are covered, and we can continue back onto the upside. Remember, we have Friday's point of control, volume point of control was really at the high, and that's kind of what makes me think that there was some sellers that moved in, especially with that M period spike. And that's why I'd like to see volume above that spike. If you looked in the trade view, I'd like to see a lot of volume above this, and that would confirm to me that the move to the upside is going to continue. Hopefully that was helpful. Crypto Mojo, doing well. I'm doing well. Yeah, I am. I'm loving the East Coast time. I'm not gonna lie. It's so nice to not have to wake up early as fuck. There's no doubt about that. Went to the beach. The beach was nice. The water was actually warm. I mean, not like super warm, but it wasn't cold. I went swimming. Some nice waves out there, so we got to catch a couple cool waves. The kids really enjoyed it, and we stayed right on the beach, so it was pretty easy access right down there. They had a boardwalk and stuff, so like all the fair games, a bunch of rides, mini golf, all that fun shit. TJ said, if that's how it worked every time Brad got off stream or missed a day, everyone would be mad. Right, exactly. And that's the thing, is like the community that I'm trying to build here is not to, for people to follow step and lock with me, is to learn, because I think that we can all learn from each other, right? Can you guys not hear me? Alex?
No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I was asking where you went to the beach.
Oh, Pleasant Point in New Jersey.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, and you got to pay to get on the beach too. So, or there you have to pay to get on the beach. So there wasn't a lot of riffraff, a lot of bullshit. Even though I did see some Jersey whores there, like Jersey Shore. Jersey whore. I said that joke to my wife. She thought it was funny. But yeah, so the community. Oh, I would move there too. It's super nice. Yeah, it is nice. Ocean City's on our list to go to. Big buy order, 29,167 lots. Call puts climbing. It's now above. Tesla's still on the rage here. I'd really like to see Google start participating in this rally. They've been lagging behind big time. Looks like they're trying to break out above that Friday's high as well. So that's good news. Microsoft's starting to climb a little too. But yeah, I think that everyone's view of the profile can be unique, and I think we can all learn from each other. And so if I just teach you guys or just tell you guys my entries, then no one's really going to learn anything. Whereas if you guys learn, like, hey, this is the entry I'm looking at, and you know, we could all help each other. The entry today that I took was from, I got long at 41.0550 and 41.0550, and then added on 41.0575, and then added at 41.15 quarter. And then I took profit on one of them on 23.75, and then still running the rest of them. But the reason was because as this thing was coming down, it couldn't get below yesterday's value area, and we didn't get a lot of volume down here, so there was no real continuation. And so I just decided, as it popped back up over the open, I'd like to try a long. And then, you know, it kind of just took off really quick. I was sitting there, like, you know, when I talked about waiting for that retest of that 97, but it didn't give me the opportunity, so I waited till it got above the open and then went with it once it got above the open. So, you know, it's kind of like a ladder, right? I waited for it to get above the open, and when it did come above the open, it kind of sat for a little bit and then gave us that little move up. Starting to see some volume come up here above these single prints. We can go ahead and erase this because they're gone now. Fucking James. So 10 o'clock. So those ISM numbers probably just came out. So let's see where we got that reaction from. It was, you know, pretty much from that B open. Let's see if they're going to trade above it. Volume coming in, littering in, littering in. So real mechanical high off the settle there. Right, people selling the settle. The PMI thing, we're just watching this B open, right? That's where the impulse was at. Was down here at the 25. So we're getting a little bit of volume down here, but not really any continuation. So a lot of offers coming in down here at this price, not really getting that continuation that the market's looking for here, down to the downside. So we'll look to see if buyers step up. We see the volume coming in up here on the 27. Volume still coming in here. So volume still coming in. They're able to push it down a little bit lower here. Looks like a buyer got trapped on the 29 quarter. So they're going to be looking to get above that 29 quarter here. Really like to see Google decide to break out. Take a peek real quick. NASDAQ is green here, about 0.23. Dow and the Russell still red. Apple's barely up 0.01. AMD's ripping up to the upside, almost up 2%. Amazon up 1%. Google's still barely red, down 0.1. Meta down 0.5. Microsoft down 0.83. Netflix down. Netflix is about even, and Tesla is still on a rampage, but did chill out a little bit. And the dollar is starting to pop up a little bit. We have that volume point of control shift up here. So remember, this is when we have this volume point of control shift up, and it's pretty much shifting up above that impulse area. We want to see price stay above it. If price starts to sneak below it, this is going to let us know, especially with the mechanical high, that we're getting a response above yesterday's value and inside the spike, right? And we know the spike acts as resistance, and that's not really an area where you want to just be sitting waiting for price to come back. The markets have been very mechanical recently. That's true, Tommy. What was that noise?
Reversing.
What is that noise? Is that somebody else's charts?
I swear it was not me hitting the reverse button. It wasn't me.
Reversing.
Definitely wasn't me. I've never even heard my computer make that noise before. That's why I'm wondering. So thin spot in the profile again here at the 33.50. Let's see, they take the mechanical high. Looking to fix that poor high from Globex. Volume still coming in up here at the top. Offer tried to come in at the 38, didn't work. And Tommy now has 50K. Yeah, I don't know who was reversing, but remember I've always talked about that reversing button is not a button that you want to use. You can, if you're on Sierra charts, you can adjust your what's it called? Like your layout to have it so it doesn't have a reverse button on it if you wanted to. So their target down here on this downside that would be like a 36.50. That's where they need to come in to offer to do a little bit of backfilling here. Peak up above that Globex high there. Tesla's pulling back here a little bit. Let's take a peek at Apple. Apple's coming back down here a little bit. What? Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. So last week's spot on the profile right here is 33.50. Maya. Can't figure out what that sound is. Bro, I've been hearing that sound on your PC for months. Yeah, so it sounds to me like the one noise sounds like a noise where you get a message from on Slack, but I don't have Slack up, and I could tell that the sound's not coming from my computer because I have the audio thing on Streamlabs, and it shows like if it comes from my computer or from other computers, so I'm not sure.
Morning, everybody.
Morning, Dad. I've disabled the reverse and market buy and sell. It makes, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, because then you have to click and place your orders. It makes you definitely be a lot more patient. What? Your stomach hurts? You lay down, buddy. Take a nap. You feel like you're gonna throw up? Drink some water too. So volume's still coming up here. We've got, 2 periods. You see that NASDAQ has flipped back to green. Energy, materials, and real estate, the only sectors kind of lagging behind. That advanced decline is still lagging a little bit, and it still seems like we're getting a lot of tails on the tick here. But definitely, trying to climb higher for sure. That target here is that 44 for these buyers to keep stepping up and then get above the 44 with some volume. That next level up is going to be that 64. That's what I'm looking for. And then really we'd have to go back to our daily chart here on the ES, and we'll be looking up here. 76.75 is the ultimate target, really. I mean, you have all these highs right here that could act as resistance. So we've got 60, 64, 68 quarter, and then 75, 75 here. This day was like that holiday day, and I'm not really counting it. We do kind of see the 200-day moving average in the first time in a long time, right? And it's almost near this spot where we had this really poor high, a really weak spot where the market just seemed to just run out of steam, really volatile week, and then traded, much lower. And this is the first time since, I mean, really, if we look at it, since getting below the 50-day SMA, right? We had it here once, never really held it, right? Battled back and forth over it, traded back below it. This time it actually, pretty good confirmation, and something that we had, almost kind of expected. I don't want to say predicted, but we kind of expected based on market psychology for a lot of retail traders to get trapped selling that 50 SMA because they're stupid.
Order filled.
That's Ninja Trader, whoever's on Ninja Trader. You could see the weighted sectors and the unweighted sectors kind of all agreeing on the upside here. Apple's still continuing to break out. Let's see. We'll watch for, I'll watch this pre-market for confirmation. Thursday's pre-market.
You know somebody got filled on a short up there.
We're at.
At 41.40. Whenever you heard it, it was like, what are fills? It's like, oh yeah, somebody shorting up here. I don't think anybody would buy right here.
Well, we're seeing a lot of volume come in up here. I think people are buying. Let's see if they hold, you know, it kind of looks mechanical buying, right? Buying that Globex high here. But I mean, the market it's extended to the upside, right? So, you know, if you are going to be buying here, looking for that spike high or something like that, you just have to make sure that you manage your risk, right? And that's the biggest thing that I talk about is the psychology is, you know, and that's one big reason why I don't want to give my entries, because, you know, I could say, okay, I'm going to get long right here. And let's say we trade down to the 30 and everyone's like, well, where are you going to get out? It's like, well, shit, motherfucker, I'm already out. Like, I'm not going to hold on to a loser forever. And they're like, oh, I hold on. And it's like, that's not my fucking problem, you know? And that's the thing I don't like to deal with is shit like that. Do you think this is a bear market rally? I think this is definitely a squeeze of shorts, right? Of leveraged money big time. I think a lot of people really got too short, you know, because they're not paying attention to the bigger picture. They're really just paying attention to, you know, the current news, the market sentiment. A lot of them are uneducated and, you know, just watch a single YouTube video or a TikTok video and they're like, oh, well, this just makes sense to me. Right? And it's like, well, no shit. You know, they're fucking stealing your data to feed you videos that you agree with, so you'll watch more. You know, it's how the algorithm works. You know, so a lot of these people get kind of trapped in their own think space, and they're, you know, over leveraged to the short side. You know, and I'm kind of waiting for the flip flop on Twitter is where I like to really see the market sentiment. And I did see a lot of flip flopping this weekend where a lot of people are like, oh, you know, the market's gonna it's gonna go up to the upside, but you know, it's still pretty mixed bag. I'm not really a huge fan of the term bear market, bull market. You know, I just pay attention to like the intermediate, longer term and shorter term trends, right? And right now I think the intermediate term trend is still down. You know, especially if we switch over here to the ES, right, we can see, you know, the intermediate term is still down. We got high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? So until we break above this level and really clean up this level, you know, we've got these single prints, right? A whole day of single prints, I would say, when you look at it on a bigger picture. So this 4,300 level is really the area that I'd like to see get tested to kind of confirm that these sellers are done selling, because that's where I think, you know, probably smart money is going to start selling more from, is going to be around these 4,300 levels. You know, if they come in lower, they come in lower. Right? There's no way to know for sure. We just have to trade the chart in front of them, or in front of us. And that's why I try to stick away from these terms like bear market rally, because if you're in the sense that this is just a bear market rally, you know, where you're gonna, that's almost just like showing your bias. Like everyone that says, oh, this is a bear market rally is really just saying, oh, I have a bias to the downside. That's all they're saying, right? Because nobody knows what's going to happen. Everyone just thinks they do, and they're just fucking wrong. Simple as that. Right? We can only just trade the chart that's right in front of us. Because you can make a prediction and you know, it could be right, and then you'd be like, oh, I'm a fucking genius. But you know, until we see the market unfold, that's when you actually have to make the decisions. All right, guys, send a text real quick. What do we got? All right, B's coming back down to the volume, right? So we saw this volume step up. We did a little covering of that overnight inventory, pretty much squeezed it all out. And then there we go. We get some selling up here at the spike high, or near the spike high. Lecker, what's up, my man? Call put is now 132 to 10. Remember this B spot where B open was the impulse from that PMI report, excuse me. Really thin down here. And that B low, well, it's half back now, so it's not really an area I'm paying attention to. So as they're looking down here, and as we're coming back down to that Globex point of control, and that's why that B low is kind of mechanical, because it's right on that Globex point of control. We'll look to see if these buyers are going to continue stepping up. If they are, right? So here's that time. So we've got 2 TPOs. So this is telling us there's some value here. But to get confirmation of value, what do we need? We need that volume to start filling. So they'll do some backing and filling of this area and, you know, continue to hold the market up. This is a lot of single prints down here, this A period. I wouldn't be surprised if we trade down into there a little bit, but this is a area where we'd like to see the volume step up and hold in order to get continuation to the upside, right? Breath is still almost -2 to 1 here. And look at the weighted sectors and the unweighted sectors really have kind of just jumped down off big time. And look at Apple too, starting to pull back here. And then our leader of the day, for the most part, Tesla, is coming down as well. Right, back down to the VWAP. VWAP is 41.19. Not really a lot of rotations on this way down, if you notice, right? We kind of just gave up. The market just seemed to kind of give up here.
Brad, is that like the perfect example of a good trade going in the face of the market there? Because I had it in my plan to look to get short at the spike from the previous day, but when it came up there, I bottled it. I didn't fancy it. I should have just played it.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly the best way to put it, I think, Tommy. Like, I mean, it was there, right? And it's kind of like you know, everyone's so focused on price because we were moving up, right? Everyone's like, oh shit, the market's going up, when really that trade was back down to the mean, right? And that's typically what we get a lot of times when we open up inside the previous day's value, is a look on either side to find out if that responsive seller or responsive buyer is still available or still willing to trade at those levels. TJ said first trade on the funded short 41.37.5, one lot 41.26. Nice. 11-point trade. It's a way to start the funded account. But yeah, Tommy, I think that's
It definitely felt like it was gonna, like at the time when it was up there, it felt like it was gonna continue. Even I had it in my plan, I should have gone with it. But yeah, I just remembered when Jim Dalton said like your good trades will always fly in the face of like the current market.
right.
And that, I think, that's a perfect example.
That is a good one. I'm gonna have to take a picture of this one and put it in the boot camp. So that VWAP is sitting at the night, or it's at, what is this? It's like the 22, it looks like. Or right at that impulse area, that B impulse. And they're starting to fill in a little bit of this volume here. I'm just not a huge fan of this B low yet. I'd like to see this B low kind of just move down a little bit more, and see if buyers are willing to step up below this point of control. It just seems, seems mechanical. Not that these mechanical levels can't hold. It just, seems like they typically want to get tested a little bit more. Yeah, Roach, yeah, it does. It flies in the face. The thing about that trade is it would have been a nice trade because you could have looked to get short, and then you could have mitigated your risk by just putting your stop just above that Friday's high. So you'd be risking, about 5 points and looking to trade back to the mean. Back to, I mean, really the short trade, if you're in it, is still, you're still looking for it to trade, all the way down to this 41.10. So you'd be risking, 5 points to look for, 30 points. That's not a bad. It's always easier to say after. Yeah, exactly. Always. Everything is 2020 in hindsight.
This is the best I've traded, Brad, on the MES.
Imagine that.
Shut up.
We still have potential to get that balance area high from June 41.76. That range is 48 to 41.71.
I wish I could say I caught all that upside. Like I said, I got out at like 18 earlier and then had to watch it run all the way up to 40 without filling me. I was like, oh crap. And then I got short again up top and wrote it down. But I wanted to jump back in that long so bad the whole way up. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I didn't take the short. I took the long pretty much all the way up. I think I closed my last trade at 37 is when I closed my last trade. I didn't read it all the way up either. Yeah, what's not 2020 are the negative things that you don't see. And that's the thing is, like, with proper preparation, weak spot right here on the 1850. All right, they get back up there. Still kind of stuck there, buyers are. Yeah, buyers look like they're kind of stuck this 1875. It kind of looks like they need to get back up there. But oh no, fuck no, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Look at my comment.
Oh yeah, there we go. What's not, yeah, so the negative things that keep you from trading a lot of times, are, I think, personal psychology. And that's gonna be, something that you have to just kind of, power through on your own, and that's gonna come with diligent note taking and preparation, I think. So we've got a weak spot below here at the 1250 and a weak spot above at the 1850. This is going to be kind of the area where buyers are going to decide if they're going to step up or if we're still going to continue to get this short trade down to that 10. I mean, pretty much there, so you wouldn't want to just be risking it for the biscuit there, but there's opportunity on both sides. Only 3 contracts trade on that low there. See, Tesla's still coming down. Look at the breadth has flipped 2.5 to 1, -1. NASDAQ breadth has flipped. We've seen financials flip down below as well. Well, if your problem is trading too much, that can be a psychology issue as well, right? That's typically related to FOMO. When people over trade, it's typically a relation to FOMO. So they trade back above that 1850 there. You see the point of control shifts down and that C low. So they kind of cleaned up that weak B low, and that's what I was looking for. And now I'd like to see if buyers can continue to step up and backfill this area up here to get us some continuation to the upside. Still this weak spot here, the 2150 as well. So let's see if we can pop above this 2150. That should give us a little bit of short covering and take us back up to that spike base where that volume's at, like around the 2930 area. I don't have his phone charger, Maya. So there's that 2150. Let's see if they step up. Oh shit, whose phone was that? My god. Almost just broke my ear. Shoot, I hate it when my stop in profit ends up being a loss. On MES though? How did that happen? Does that mean you are holding forever, Stacy? Oh, I see. Yeah, it's weird. It should definitely not happen on an eval account. Eval account should be, you know, like almost instantaneous. The eval account, you can like just fill like 100 lots on one order and should be should be good to keep going. So let's see if we can keep this volume moving up here. Weak spot 2250. So we should see some short covering here. So I'm waiting for them. If these shorts don't come, or these shorts don't start to cover here, this thing will probably rotate back down. Probably down to like the 19 quarter-ish area to check these buyers here. That's 20. See if they're still willing to participate. You're starting to see an offer come in at the 22 there. Still some sellers trapped down here at the 1875, excuse me. Weak spot here, 2075. So some of those longs got a little bit too overzealous on the 22. So market's starting to get really tight. C period just still sitting inside of the B range. I wouldn't be surprised to see more tests of this A low and then more tests of this B high, honestly. Like, you know, it's kind of one of those days where it looks like it's shaping up to be a balanced day. And oftentimes the market needs to balance before it continues to do what it wants to do. Where did you get the script for TOS, the one showing sectors percent change? I got that one from shadowtrader.net, Jason. The Sierra Charts package, do you have the second one? I have like the MBO one. I heard it pings what spot you are in line if you're getting filled, and it fills if it trades past that spot. Sierra Charts does? So they're backfilling this area. This is what we were kind of looking for. We're getting some rotations, right? We want to see them backfill this weak spot and then get continuation to the upside. That's what I'm looking for, excuse me. Yeah, no problem, Jason. Dr. VJ, what's up, man? Yeah, you can go to shadowtrader.net. These are on shadowtrader.net. That's where I got them from. There's other ones that are out there on the internet that are free, that are similar. So back down to the VWAP. The market's doing a little VWAP dance here. Tesla's pulling back here a little bit, coming back down to its open. The VIX is actually up 6% here. Up still 2277, right? And I know it's been above 20 for so long. People are kind of like, you know, oh, that's not shit. But I mean, that's not shit. If I'm being honest, that's still pretty decent. VIX. Now let's see if we get volume stepping up in this thin spot up here in this 24 area. And that should be the juice that it needs to get back up to that 128. You can see that's where the real thin spot is recently, is this 128, which is where probably longs that got long at the top started to liquidate around this area and then buying back here around that low. Did it again with your target, but worse. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's happening. 897, what's up, man?
I got in just here, and I didn't have a chance to move my target up, and it took me out, but for a loss. And I looked, that was a long. Yeah, it's a long order.
What's your stop loss at?
Oh, the stop loss was like 2 points down, 2 points.
I'm not sure. Are you trading you're trading on the MES? Are you trading on an MES chart or an ES
Yeah.
chart?
I'm trading on the oh yeah, I'm trading on the ES chart.
That might be why.
Maybe it zipped down.
Because the
That is a good-
MES is different than the ES. I mean, it relatively the same, but it does like it does trade a bit different sometimes.
Okay, yeah, that is a good point. I'll look at that.
AMD still one time framing to the upside from the open, but it is cooling off here a little bit at the high. Meta's did a big flip here, one time framing up since the open. Looks like it's running out of a little bit of steam around Friday's high as well, and coming up to a little bit of a trend here. Netflix is still going up. Tesla just caught a decent little bounce off of the open. Google, right, still lagging. Been waiting for this to break out. I think when Google starts to jump on board with this upside, the rest of the tech stocks, I think that could be a big supporter. You can see this bounce is a little bit weak comparatively as far as the weighted AD code goes. You can see the breadth is still red on the NYSE and green on the NASDAQ. It's actually increased on the NASDAQ and cooled off a little bit on the NYSE. Two or 3 point stops are sometimes easy to steal, especially when you're in the right direction. Yeah, it could be slippage, but not a 2 point slippage. If you're getting 2 point slippage, you need to call your broker and be like, hey, you're fucking fired. So volume point of control moved up right around this 28 level, right? So that's where all these longs got liquidated from, and now they're saying, oh, okay, well, I got a little bit over carried away here. So I'm going to start buying here. So now let's see, as we're getting back into that spike, if we're going to get some continuation to the upside. Remember, we're really looking for this volume to keep filling in as it is. But I'd like to see some volume form up above this 41.45. When you're getting up to these highs, getting long up near these highs is, it's a bit more difficult. So thin spot here below us is 27.5. It looks like 27.5, 27.25. You also normally use a 3 point stop. I use structured stops, so sometimes my stops can be a little bit bigger, but IT sector is now pretty deep and positive. Yeah, it's up about a 1.2%. Yeah, that is pretty big. Where is my home? I wanted to look at this too. Downloading the MES is taking forever. Starting to see some shorts get scared up here. You don't like to take trades that need bigger structured stops. You pass on those. Yeah, see, I'm more looking to capture like a full move than like a, like a 6-point trade or something like that. Tech is definitely going. If we can just get Google to start being on board, could really start to see the market move. Apple's close to 0.5 up here, yeah. AMD's just on a tear to the upside. AMD's got earnings coming into tomorrow after the market too, so only thing that just like kind of makes me think that we're just not going to get this huge breakout is the breadth, right? The breadth is just so weak. You would think on a trend day or a day that's going to form into a trend that we would start to see participation, relative market strength. And we're seeing, technology definitely propelling us to the upside. Consumer discretionaries participating really well. But I'd like to see energy also jump on board. That's another been a big driver lately. But I mean, we saw the COT report. Weak spot here, 34.50. So if these sellers don't get below 34.50, look for this thing to trade back up to that 41. But we've seen how short leveraged a lot of these sellers still are, and so that kind of tells us right there that they still have some unwinding to do possibly. Weak spot on the profile right here is that 36. In a little bit of orders up there on the 40, it looks like 272 lots. Google's coming up here. Let's see if Google can break us out. If Google can break out, this thing could really start to move. Dr. VJ short at 36.75, flat now. Yeah, tech is the largest sector for sure. For sure. The breadth was the same on Friday, very weak. One green and one red bubble for most of the day. Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's kind of, letting us know also that it is like just leverage money kind of getting squeezed out. We're seeing the breadth start to, go a little bit, closer to the zero line or the green line, right? Which lets us know that, there we go. But there's opportunity here. Yeah, that's a risky trade there, Dr. VJ. If Google breaks out here, there should be definitely some opportunity up here. Weak spot in the profile right here. I mean, just 38.50 to 38. Waiting to hear back from this VA appraiser today too. It's fucking taking his sweet ass time. It looks like this offer's trying to move down here. Trying to get filled below the 40 here. There they go. They just got ran through. They flip. They're sitting on the 39.50. Interesting. Looking to get above the high here. Shorts are covering. Well, they're scared. Or high in the direction of the dip. Oh, it was a while back. I thought you were talking about right now that you were gonna get short right there on the 33.25. Volume still coming in right here. Yeah, if we can get some volume up above this previous day's spike, I mean, we should be, cleared for liftoff here. 9 minutes left until the next period. And, as of now, it looks like there's a good opportunity that we might open up on some single prints here. A little bit of long taking profit there on the 45. We're above that spike here. Let's see if we can get some volume to get this continuation up here. And then target would be up to that, the first one to 64. Google starting to participate here as well. Yeah, no problem, Dr. VJ. And for me, I really just, like, I just don't trade, I just don't fade a one-time framing market or a market that's, moving. I try to trade with the direction, right? The direction of the day, since we're intraday trading here. Just, that's what I try to trade with. Definitely have some profit taking up here on the 45, it looks like, but sellers aren't really willing to come down and offer very much. Come on, Google, take us to the promised land. Come on, Google, you can do it. We believe in you. So volume starting to come in here above the spike. See if we can run through this 45. Bigger volume sitting up here on the 50. A lot of orders getting filled on this top tick. 1,006. There it goes. see if they hold the impulse. That impulse was from 45 here. Doesn't look like they're holding it so far. $71's in play now. Yeah, we just need to, I mean, we want to see, so there's a weak spot here at the 42. Even if, you know, we come down, some volume builds up here at the high, that just would give us kind of the scenario that we saw here, right? Volume came in, it built, price moved higher, we saw volume move up, the point of control shifted up in that 27, price continued higher. But we'd want to see them do some backing and filling, and this would really just show us strength in the market, right? A lot of times when we see a lot of single prints, as we've seen, is a lot of squeezing of trapped sellers, right? And if we scroll down our profile, we see, you know, single prints just all over the place. For the most part, right? Here's another batch of them, another batch of them, another batch of them, right? So we've just seen single prints on the way up. It was showing us weak money getting kind of squeezed out, or highly leveraged money, you know, having to cover these short positions. If we do get volume continuation and backing and filling, and that's going to be showing us this market strength, that could be telling us that, you know, maybe some bigger money is starting to buy, or maybe you're even seeing the leverage money flip from the short side to the buy side, adding more fuel to the fire, so to speak. Google not able to take that high though, which is really kind of turning me off on this upside here. Come on, Google. Weak spot below is 38 quarter, 38 quarter, 38 half. Too much exuberance until 50 is crossed with momentum. Yeah, well, and yeah, I mean, I agree with that, Dr. VJ, right? You've got people that are paying attention to price and price alone, you know, and we're inside Friday's range as of right now. So, you know, there could be, you know, easily a seller that comes in to push it down, but I definitely like to see them continue getting this volume back up to the upside. If we don't trade below that 42, right, you can see where it's kind of a weak spot right there in the volume profile. If we don't trade below that 42 again, I think there's, you know, we're definitely trade up to that 50. And I'm really, you know, I'd like to see us trade up to at least this 64. That'll be my target. Oh man, I did a killer workout yesterday and I'm sore as fuck today. Look at the NYSE breath is almost back to flat here. Financials flip back to green and they actually got a nice little boost. Healthcare starting to pay attention. Energy still down about almost 1%. And that's kind of the only sector really that's lagging us behind here. Curtis, what's that alarm? Curtis, what's that alert? Thanks. Microsoft flipping to green. Call counts 94-1. Yeah, pretty much everything's okay. Thanks, buddy. Did I hear you? Find it tough to trade these areas. If not, in a long from below to hold for push. I'm not in a trade. No, I closed my last trade at 45. Yeah, I had one more long right at 45. And that pop just kind of, when it didn't hold that impulse area. So we saw like a big push when it got up to 45, right? All this volume started to pour in. And then it popped up. And then came right back down and traded through it. And that's, I just flattened my trade. So I'm just kind of waiting to see, you know, if we can get volume up here above Friday's high, above that spike high, then I'll look for a nice new area to get long. But no, that's it's a tough spot, right? Because, you know, better risk management, right? Volume still down here, you would be looking to possibly get short, and your stop would go right above that C high, and you'd be looking to, trade back down to the mean, right? So that's good risk to reward, but also, do you really want to get short when we just put in some single prints below, right? Definitely not me at least. And I don't like to short a one time framing market. One time framing market that's to the upside, right? If we're one time framing to the downside, then yeah, I'll short that, but not really seeing that continuation. Starting to get some volume here. Google's looking to break the upside. It did. There goes Google. Let's see if Google can give us the push. Back below that 45, right? That 45 is kind of the impulse level for me. I would like to see the market stay above this 45, but it just, keeps kind of failing to do so. Now we have a poor high established. So let's see if these sellers don't close these single prints, that'll show some weakness from these sellers and give us some opportunity to possibly get on board with a long. If they close the single prints, we'll just be looking for rotation back down to volume and see if buyers are willing to step up, right? But like I said, this 27 is the point of control. So not able to close those single prints yet there. Tesla's coming down hard. Yeah, there must be some news. I was just looking at that as well. I don't know what the deal is here. Tesla's been kind of the leader too. Single prints get closed. Nelson, good morning. Yeah, I haven't seen any news or anything on Tesla, so I'm not sure. One of these news. Tesla signs battery deals in China. The stock is rising. That's back at like the open though. If they back and fill this area here, and might get some more upside. The market's just getting, it's just extended, right? So it's pretty hard to jump on board, and Google's pulling back too, pretty hard. You can see our advanced decline line just hit that 0 and is now switching back down, so. Faded that high from the high volume node back in May. I try not to trade in a vacuum anymore. Look at the big picture. Yeah, Jason, that's good. You always got to maintain perspective. That's why we should always be looking at the big picture every single day. There's a big buy order on the 42 of 100 lots there. So it could have been someone, a shorter term fader covering their position there. All right, I'll be right back, guys. All right. Sorry, little man. Keep it cool, bro. Thanks, man. Yeah, that's how I try to keep it. You know, try to keep it nice and chill. No need to freak out, especially because the market's always freaking out. But you know, a lot of channels they that's what draws people in. You know what I mean? Like they get the craziness and get the emotions flowing, and you know, get people to stay on their channel or whatever. So, but yeah. If you're not in the Discord, let me know. I'll post the link for you. Definitely jump in the Discord and say what's up. You missed the piggy bank sound? I could add it again. I just haven't had it on for so long that it's just like at this point, you know, just, you know, kind of get redundant. I do love that though. So Google again, you know, broke the high and then rejected. It's down in the sub box. No, it's not. The one down in that sub box is doesn't work, and it's kind of intentional. But I'll send you one right now. I have it like that just because I just don't want to get a bunch of bots or assholes joining the Discord. Yeah. Like the only thing we ask really is just that you be positive and respectful. Here's the chat. Here it is. Yeah, just be positive and respectful. Remember, everyone's at different levels or different stages in their trading journey. You know, it is a journey. This isn't something that you just start today and you're successful tomorrow or even next week or even next month. You know, it's definitely a process, as you know, many people can attest to. But we don't want to be bringing each other down. Only positive vibes as much as possible. And even if you have disagreements, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Actually kind of encourage objective disagreements. You just got to make sure it's not, you know, we're not doing personal attacks, right? Like what was that thing when he's like they're yelling at each other and he's like hey well, fuck, what's that thing called? He's like, don't you bring my mother into this. He's like, hey Ezekiel, guess what I did last night? Like, don't bring my mother into this. He's like, I built that fire over there. And he's like, oh. And he's like, then I fucked your mother next to it.
I love that
shit.
video.
Yeah. So, you know, we don't need any mother talk in here, but, you know.
Hey, what is your name?
Yeah, what is your name? That's what it is. I couldn't remember. Yeah, what is your...
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, that shit cracks me up.
Guess what I did last night? You better not bring my mother into this. Tony.
Yeah, oh, Tony, that's it, Tony.
Yeah, Tony and
Tony.
Ezekiel.
Yeah.
What is your name? Tony. Fuck you, Ezekiel.
Yeah, fuck you, Tony. We got a weak spot up above here, 38.50 again, right? Every time we trade through this 38.50 spot, it you know, it seems like a capitulation point for a lot of buyers and sellers. The bot sold for 516 up for the day. Let's go. Apple's kind of looking like a P formation here, right? So we know this is really indicative of some short covering, right? We had overnight inventory 100% net short, which so that would make sense for Apple. And I'm sure there was a bunch of people that were shorting the rally into Apple. And Apple's been, I mean, Apple went down from, we take a peek at Apple, right? You can see just the rampage that Apple's been on off of the low. Right, Apple down from beginning of the year. You've got, you know, 164 days, it was down 29%. And then if you take a look up here, you're talking 47 days and it's up 27%, right? So it's almost went up the same amount that it's went down in a third of the time, maybe even less there. So the move on Apple has just been, you know, a massacre to the upside. And I sold a lot of my Apple last week like a baby back bitch, but you know, still got Apple in the long term. But that position that we got from the 137 was pretty much sold off last week. Apple, I mean, Apple's just been so strong lately, so you can imagine that some people are shorting it. It's gapping up above that 200-day SMA here. Amazon's still in that gap, but Amazon's still got a ways to go. Google really just not, you know, not participating in this move. Meta just absolutely shit, right? I think Meta's going to go to 0. Microsoft catching a little bit today, but or a little bit off the lows, but no continuation today. Netflix just complete garbage. And then Tesla, you know, Tesla's on a rampage as well off of these lows. But nothing really compares to the move of Apple off of the lows, right? Especially when you take a bigger look at it.
What's up, guys?
What's up, TJ?
Man, how was the beach? Enjoy it?
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it was my first time on the
Was
East
it,
Coast beach.
Warm? Still
Yeah.
hot up there.
Oh yeah, it was hot. Yeah, it was overcast till about noon, and then I mean it was still warm, still like 85 degrees. But then once the clouds cleared out, then it started to get like really hot.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice. The kids enjoyed.
Are the beaches pretty sandy up there? Or is it like more rocky and
That was-
seashells everywhere?
Where we were at, it was pretty sandy. Yeah, there was some seashells, but most of it was like towards, because there's like what would you call that? Like a little bay that comes out near where we were at, where all the boats were coming out of, and most of all that stuff kind of gets sucked down into that way. So we didn't really have to deal with anything. And I was swimming out pretty far and didn't, you know, I didn't hit any jellyfish, which I was happy with because I heard there's a lot of jellyfish on the East Coast. I have to piss on myself.
I think the jellyfish are more where it's warmer, like down by South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
I think I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure. There's a shit ton of.
Every time I
The
think of
water's
jellyfish,
super-
I think of Friends. When Monica gets stung by a jellyfish.
Yeah, my wife
That's
loves
right.
that.
I stepped up. Yeah, I love that show too. It's like one of my favorite shows. That and The Office. Like if I had to pick a show or pick, you know, a couple things, those would definitely be on the list. Like I'd pick The Office and pick Friends to just watch forever. I would even say Friends is better than The Office, honestly. You know, as much as I do love The Office, it's just like Friends you can watch from the first episode to the last episode. Whereas like The Office, like once Michael leaves, you're kind of like, eh. You know, once Steve Carell goes off the show, you're just like, eh.
I'm more into Family Guy and South Park.
I like South Park too. Yeah, and I like Family Guy as well. It's just I haven't watched them as religiously as I watch like Friends and The Office. Always Sunny is a fucking great show too. I love Always Sunny. Hey man. Whoa. I love that. Like when he's like that's impossible. Like first off, with God, all things are possible. So let's get that out of the way. Integrity weed, yeah. But we're seeing the market pull back here a little bit, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? Do a little backing and filling would show some strength in the market. That poor high alludes us to that there's really not a ton of demand out there at the top, right? Not letting us know that maybe a breakout is not the way to go. So we have to be patient and kind of wait for these opportunities to set up here. Yeah, they do have a funny podcast. I've listened to it a couple times.
I watched some new shows.
One second. One second. About that. Managed to grab 50 points off that high. Good shit, Jason. Yeah, you have a good day as well, man.
Hey, so while I got a second, let me tell you about my yesterday. I had to drop my computer off to get the screen fixed because the screen stopped working on part of the top right, which is really weird. So I had to borrow a computer and I had to load everything on. And it took me like 3 hours, but I was able to get most of everything back up and running the way that I had it on before without having to ask anybody.
Oh, man.
So,
Good job, man.
Look at you.
and I think
Nice work.
yeah, well, if you knew me, new swear words were created while I was doing this, but I got it done.
Good job.
Nice. Did they say anything about your computer? Like, are they going to be able to fix it?
No, they're probably just going to replace it. They have to get a hold of like Lenovo. He said that he's never seen him replace a screen before.
They'll probably replace the whole computer.
More than likely. And then I'll just get a store credit and I'll have to go in and get a, they'll give me a credit and I'll have to go in and get a new computer, which works out great anyway, because I wanted a different one anyway, because I bought those things on a computer, or I mean, I bought those screens that you can add to a laptop that makes it so that it,
What is that? Is that your work?
yeah, it's this stupid phone. Oh, I could turn the volume down. It's those things you put on a laptop or yeah, mostly a laptop, but it's just like travel computers. God damn.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But you could just take them anywhere. They're hell. I mean, I got them for cheap because my friend was a GM at Best Buy, but they're pretty cool. So that would be great if I can do it, because then I'll upgrade to one that I can put on 2 screens instead of just one.
Right.
Well, don't get a Lenovo. Those are terrible.
Too late for that. Well, I guess maybe if they give me a credit, I could get a different one.
That's what's nice about Best Buy too, is Best Buy has such good warranty that like if any of your shit breaks and you have it from Best Buy, that they have no problem just replacing it for you. So sellers trying to move down here on the 35 quarter, but it doesn't look like they're getting any progress yet. So if this thing pops above this 36, and I think we'll probably see a bit of short covering pile out and maybe some more continuation to the upside here. He's the manager, so he does whatever he wants. He's probably supposed to answer it, I guess, but Came back to that like button and the sub. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it, man. So here we go. Here, watch for some short covering to pop this thing back up here. And your target probably be this weak spot up here, 42.
Yeah, Best Buy is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I really like Best Buy.
I know the owner of Best Buy Biz, which is like their business side. And the guy's super cool. He moved here in like he was in the 40s, maybe it was the 50s, and couldn't speak English. Came from Romania, couldn't speak English. Met some girl that worked in the office at some college on the East Coast and faked him a diploma, and then he was able to get a job. And anyway, he started making money buying houses and stuff. And then in the 80s, when Best Buy was going out of business, he lent Best Buy $1 million so they didn't go out of business. And they gave him Best Buy Biz, which is a business like part of, is for the money or whatever. Now it's for hundreds of millions of dollars. He owns part of the Vikings and stuff, but they own a house. Best Buy owns a house in Vegas that used to be owned by the Rat Pack, by Sammy Davis Jr. And
Oh, okay,
they deck
nice.
out the whole house in like every kind of TV and stereo. So they bring all the big wigs there and stuff. But every year when they do that electronics convention, I get to go up there and stay there and stuff. It's just freaking sweet. It's this badass mansion. It's got all these like secret, like hidden rooms and shit. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. All right, so we got
And then
we got a little bit of that short covering. But it does look like you're starting to see an offer here on this 40, but as long as they keep above this 38, you should still be good to keep holding on to this long. I've got my stop right here at 37.75, so if we trade back down there, I'll close this long, but other than that, I'm going to take some offer when we hit that 42, and then, just try to hold until we get back up to the high of the day up at that 48. Yeah, they're holding it. See if we can get some continuation here. The volume's still trying to come in. They're still offering this 40 level here pretty hard. Should be able to pop though. Oh, the night man. Oh. I just took one off at that 41 quarter right now. Starting to get a little bit weak. Don't really like this. Here we go. Okay. All right, buyers still stepping up. Come on. There's a weak spot on the profile here, so we really need to see buyers step up to try to fill this in. Offer coming in is 43. They're trying to sell the previous day's high. That's a mechanical spot to sell. This thing still good. We want to see it stay above this 42 half here. 42 half to 41 half. We want to see it stay above this area. Target's still that 48 at the high a day. Google trying to get back up above that high. So still holding this 41.5 level so far, but starting to come down a little bit here. That's just telling us it's getting a little bit overextended. But no real follow through from sellers at all here either. So not really any control. You see the breath just flip back to green, right? It's right at the even slot here. Weighted sectors and unweighted sectors are starting to catch on. I'd like to see this continuation here. Apple's really getting close to this upside. I'm still watching this 163.98 level for Apple to break above. That should take Apple up to 165, and that'll bring the market up as well. Yeah. Here's that 41.5. Look for buyers to step up. If not, they'll probably go back down to 39. Weak spot below 38. Yeah. E period opening up. Let's see where they option it down to. Ugh. So we're heading back down towards that 35, which is where that move started from. You had these sellers kind of get trapped on that 34.75, 35 level. So it would be advantageous for them to get back down to that level to try to cover. Let's see if these buyers are willing to step up. We see the volume point of control shift up to the upside now, and we're starting to see value shift higher here, right? Got overlapping to higher value here. Yeah, this is choppy. Yep. Choppy up here at the high, right? Because there's just not a lot of people that are willing to just buy this breakout here. Like I said, this poor high is kind of showing us that there's a lack of demand. And then, you know, when sellers, especially shorter term time frame sellers, see that there is a lack of demand, you start to get, you know, more people willing to participate in shorting the high, right? And there's, you know, a lot of people that for some reason just that's their go-to, is that they're like, oh, the market's up, I better get short, right? Instead of just being patient and trading with this one time framing market to the upside for the most part. What was that shit that I was trying to order? fuck is all this shit?
So if you're in a short here, Brad, would you be targeting the D low?
So yeah, so if you're in a short here, I mean the first target's going to be this settle, right? This is mechanical buying off the settle, so this E low is a weak low. So you'd want to see this market get below that settle. If it doesn't, that'll show you weakness in the sellers. But the target would be, yeah, really, yeah, back to where this volume is below.
I'm not in a short, but I was a little bit ago and I took profit, but I was wondering if I should have, been targeting the D low or got out on that little retracement back or what.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when the market's rotational like it has been, to sit there and be patient. But on a day like today, a very balanced day, when you start identifying these days a little bit early, I mean, today could even be like today could necessarily be like a trend day as well because we are kind of trending to the upside. But when you're getting these rotations and really putting in a lot of this balance, it is one of those days where if you don't stay patient, you're going to take a lot of 2-point trades or a lot of 3-point trades when you could have been getting a lot of like 10, 11, 12-point trades. And so it'd be better. I mean, it's such a tough thing, right? Because it depends on your style, right? But, there's patience is definitely paid today for sure. But yeah, so like as this is coming down here, if you're in a short and you see more buying kind of front running the settle, if they don't take that settle, especially as we get close to it, that shows you weakness in selling. And if you are in a short, that's would be a spot where you're looking to cover that trade. You see the offer was probably like the 38 again. So above the 38, you'll probably see more short covering come out, if they can't take this settle. Yeah, yeah, Dr. VJ. Yeah, there's no easy two-sided trades. It's been a little bit easier for me to stay patient just because I've been on the long side all day. Haven't really been taking any shorts. Haven't taken, well, not really. I haven't taken any shorts. Hey, buddy. I really like this fucking appraiser to get back to me. So they repair that weak low, make the settle. Now watch the 38 level. If sellers get above the 38 level, or if the market gets above the 38 level, you'll probably see some more short covering that take you back up to like that 44. We see where all this volume came in at the E high, which was at the D open, which kind of makes me think that the E high was also a bit mechanical. Hey, Woody. Oh yeah, because she's out. She's out of our meeting. No. So still watching this 38 level. If they pop the 38 level, you probably see a lot of these people that are trying to short down here at the low of E get trapped. They really need to push it back down below that settle and hold it back down below that settle if they want to get any type of continuation. Like a lot of sellers are trying to move down here to offer this 35. If buyers don't step up, then you could see a liquidation of buyers down back to, you know, probably, I don't even know, to be honest. It just looks like volume's just kind of filling in this area. Always tempted to fade. Right, Roach. Yeah, trade on the right side of the market is such a simple concept, but not an easy one. Yeah, and it's something that I track every day too. So like with the end of my day with my trades, I try to, you know, kind of decipher, okay, what did the market do today? Did the market mostly trade up or did it mostly trade down? Not paying attention to price, right? Paying attention mostly to value. So for today, right, if the day were to end right now, I would say that it would be up, right? Which is, you know, seems pretty easy to say at the end of the day. And it's, you know, like you're saying, it's an easy kind of concept to comprehend, but when it comes to putting it to paper and actually trading, you know, it becomes a little bit more difficult. James George, what's up, man? Hope you had a good weekend as well, man. Thank you. So as we come back up to this 38, this is kind of that level I'm looking for, where I think if we get above that 38, some more short covering might come out and they'll be looking to repair this E high, which was, to me, seemed mechanical off the D open and off the previous day's high at that 44, really. So let's see if they pop this 38 here. Always tempted to fade. Yeah, that comes Roach too. Like, you know, that's something I've been working on with Jared for like the longest time, is that, you know, he's always wanting to short for some reason. And you know, he actually had a really good breakthrough recently by, you know, reading Jim Dalton's book finally after fucking 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. Holy shit. It's August. You know, so if that's something that you haven't done yet, you know, I would definitely jump on that train and read that book at Mind Over Markets or Markets in Profile, or I mean, honestly both, but Mind Over Markets is the first book. Seems some sellers look trapped at 36 quarter here. If they pop this 38, we should see some short covering now. They're looking to trade up to that 41 here. Come on, you fucking dirty little shorts, just covers so we can have that 41. He likes picking up nickels in front of a steamroller. Not anymore, but Jared did. Yeah, he did. Not anymore, though. He's had a breakthrough. Read it years ago, reading it again. Yeah. And, no, he's not. Jared's not sensitive. He can take a joke. You know, like, it really does. I mean, I'm rereading Mind Over Markets right now. You know, I tend to reread books because the second time, the third time, you know, you read them, you start to really pick up on a more concepts than you originally did when you first read the book.
Hey, Brad, quick question.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you show the IT sector at for like up or down? I'm trying to make my page exact right based on, because when you were saying it was up $1.16, I was like, well, that's not what mine shows. And I think I'm using close price for the previous day. So what is it using? Is it using the open price?
Yeah, mine's using the open.
Okay, so I need to modify that. Just to make it easier, just so that we're all on the same page. Thanks.
Yep. And the only reason I like to use the open is because if it does gap up and then comes down, it'll show like green, but it's coming down, and it's, for me, that's just kind of confusing. Oh, that's perfect, Roach. Yeah, yeah. If you have the physical book and the audio, then yeah, that's really good. Because then you can take notes in it. I like to yeah, I like those tabs that you can put in it instead of like, because you highlight it and it's just like, man, you know, the book's closed and you can't see shit, but you put those tabs in it and then highlight, it gives you a page like, oh, flip to this, and this was a good key that I, you know, remember or whatever.
So what do you show the IT sector as right now?
Up 1.36.
But 36%. What's the amount? Do you know? You're just looking at the percentage.
Yeah, I just look at the percentage.
Let me figure that out.
So they're, well, not yet. It's trying to
1.36. Yeah.
repair.
Okay, that's right.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Got it.
They're trying to repair this E high, which is weak here. It looks clean here. There's a pretty two-sided trade on this move up, which is good for the upside, which means buyers have accepted these higher prices and are moving up consistently as this thing is moving up. But we want to get confirmation by them fixing this weak high, getting above that spike high, volume coming in, capitulation from these people that are short, and that can give us the continuation to the upside that we're looking for here. Weak spot on the profile, 42.5. We're starting to see some sellers capitulate here. I'd like to see them hold it above this 42 is what I'd like to see. There we go. Google, come on. Google's back on its way up here. So there's the repair. Yeah, one more tick. Give us one more tick of excess and we'll call it repaired. So this is just mechanical selling on the previous day's high here. And a little bit of profit taking too from everyone that got long with us that's watching our stream. Here we go. Now let's see some capitulation here, and that should take us up. 50 is where the volume's at, it looks like, or where the next big offer's at, 360 or 345 lots, excuse me. Like I said, it does look like these buyers are meeting offers and willing to move up. But we'll just have to see if these sellers are willing to capitulate up here above yesterday's high and start to cover shorts, and that should give us the juice that we need to get that continuation. And the target really is 64, I think. Let's see on this chart. Where's it get that? What's this? We've got 4160, 4164, 4168 quarter, and then 7675. So those are the kind of the four levels. So let's just mark 60 first. I think that's the 6.7. That's a 6.8. 6.7 high was 64. Oh, let's go 64. Breath is flipped back to green. technology sector is starting to get some gas here. Google's still not doing what we wanted to do up here. I'd like to see Google get this continuation. Come on, Google, pay attention. It is a tough read. It really is, you know, and I was actually kind of looking something up, but I don't know if it's legal. I was going to read it on stream or just do like a not like this stream, but like do like a later stream and just like read chapters of the book individually and like break them all down together. But I just don't know if that's legal. If I like read his book on the internet. I mean, I'm not getting paid for it or anything, but like who knows? Get all pissy with me or something. And I don't want to piss off Jim. Still waiting for that phone call from the team, from Jim's team, to be like, hey Brad, you know, you've got a really good grasp on this profile and how we trade here, so you know, why don't you head out to Arizona and we'll try you out for the team. That's where Jim lives, in Arizona.
Maybe I'll make a call for you, Brad, for your birthday.
They'd be like, who the fuck is Jared Jonovich?
Oh, name carries weight. Don't worry.
These Celsius drinks are actually pretty good. I had the peach mango green tea one today. It's not bad. Doesn't fuck your stomach up like a Red Bull or something does. You can get them at Rite Aid or Target. So we're still chilling right here. 30. My stop's on 43 right here, but as long as we stay above that 43.50, I think we're still chilling to the upside. Even if we stay above 42.5, honestly, I think we're still looking good. Just waiting for these sellers to really just kind of give it up. A lot of volume coming in up at the top though, like it's just getting absorbed. Come on, just fucking, let's go. That would be awesome, Thomas. Yeah, that would be super cool, you know, be like a dream. I would have to decline though, obviously I'm not moving to fucking Arizona, but if I could do it virtually, then yeah, you know, I'd be all about it. My style of teaching is a little bit different though, right? Jim is a lot more professional than I am. That offer moved back on the 41.50. So these offers are getting a little bit brave here now that, you know, they're not seeing that continuation. But buyers do step up right there. Almost got back ticked by one tick right there, but held on. Skin of my teeth. So now that we're back inside the previous day's range, we're seeing a little bit of offering step down here. The sellers get a little bit brave on in that case. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, I could do it through Zoom, I'm sure. I mean, I mean, they probably don't even know who I am, to be honest with you. Like, you know, that's just like a fantasy. I don't know if I've ever heard Jim really curse. I heard him call somebody a dumbass before, I think. Or he said like that was a dumbass question or something like that, but not, he doesn't have like the potty mouth that I have. And you know, his crowd is a lot more professional based. You see buyers being brave buying the highs? Yeah. Yeah, no, I think a lot of that buying up there was just shorts covering, um, scared that this thing was gonna rip up and they're trying to take like their last little bit of profit, but not really any continuation. But we did see some offers move down after we came back inside the previous day's range there, right below that spike high. And Google's still not participating. Meta's actually on a rampage to the upside. They must have heard us talking about it. Still coming up to that call level though. Right back down to the VPOC here at the 40. Remember the 38 was the flip zone once again here on this move up.
Damn, it's choppy today. It's like, I can't break that high, but every time it comes down, buyers are just buying it up.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of backing and filling today, which is a sign of a strong market. But it is tough, I think, for larger money to really decide that they're going to move up, right? Because we know there's bigger money down here, right, where these single prints are at, where all these weak-handed shorts got squeezed out, right? So if we know they're 300 300 points below, it's a tough go to get them to really just step up and decide, okay, I'm going to keep this thing going. But if they can trap enough people that are still, convinced of the bear market, and I'm using quotations, I know you guys can't see, but if there's enough people that are willing to keep shorting the highs, there's definitely more opportunity for upside. I just, the thing that's really kind of holding me off on the breakout is our breadth. Our breadth is really just not giving us what we want. Yeah, like a book club. That'd be cool, James. I like that idea. Yeah, I do like that. Because everyone's gonna interpret something different, right? Everything is kind of subjective to your own intake, right? And so it'd be cool to get everyone's ideas, put them all together. Got about 2 minutes left until this next session opens up here. You know what show I started watching like a couple days ago is called Upload. It's actually a pretty good show. It's on Amazon. I think it's pretty good. Kind of funny. It's like a mystery kind of funny show.
Yeah, I watched this other show. It's pretty funny. It's like the guy from Big Bang, the Total Geek, but he's a kid, and so it's like in the past or whatever. I always saw the one show, but it's pretty funny.
That young Sheldon.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah, that show is funny.
you see the one with Elon at the end of it?
Oh, I haven't. No.
That's pretty good. He asked some asked at school, and he asked the scientists, "Why don't you guys just make a rocket that can, land or whatever?" Like, oh, we don't have technology. So young Sheldon writes the blueprints, and goes to NASA, and gives it to him, and they're looking at it like, "Oh no, we don't have this kind of technology." Young Sheldon's like, "Well, you call me in 10 years when you got it, whatever." And then it fades away. And you see Elon in the back, like reading his paperwork.
That's pretty cool. So E period's still just inside of D period. The market's really just waiting for more information here. F period is opening up right at the point of control. And as the market is getting fairly slow, I think this is where I am going to call it, my friends. Let's see, if we zoom out a little bit, We do want to be cautious of this upside, right? We've had the market fail to take the upside 3 times. So even if there is a bit of movement, make sure that volume confirms before you go with that breakout, right? Easily, we've kind of seen this before. What day was it? It was this day here, right? Where the market was just, the fuck just happened? Where's it at? Oh my God. Bro, what is the deal with this thing? Okay. Here it is. Why is it doing that? Okay. Oh my. Bro, what is the deal with this thing? All right. So anyways, I'm not going to, well, actually we could expand it. Okay, so here we go. So we saw, you know, it just hit the top, couldn't break, and then finally did break, and then traded all the way down. Did end up trading back up at the end of the day, but, you know, they had trapped enough short-term inventory down and then caused that liquidation. So that could just be something that we want to stay cautious of as a possibility of happening today, right? We've seen it before, so we want to make sure that we stay cautious of it again. This is a poor high, so there's good odds that if it does get up there, that the market does break the high, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to get continuation. This FI is weak also, so we'll be looking to break that as well. But other than that, you know, there's not really much going on. The market is just kind of continuing to balance inside, right? F period still inside E period. E period was completely inside of D period. We haven't really seen any decisive action yet, right? You want to see it get below that E period. If it gets below that E period, you'll be looking honestly to trade it back down to that point of control. That'll be the target for these sellers, and then really below yesterday's value area if some actual supply shows up. We do have overlapping to higher value today, and the market is still one time framing to the upside. A cessation of one time framing would just mean the market probably be even more rotational than it is. And yeah, that is pretty much it. But other than that, make sure that you guys are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. If you don't have a trade plan, don't trade. And if you don't know how to make a trade plan, definitely jump in the Discord and ask around. We'd definitely be more than happy to help you. If you don't have an invite to the Discord, just post, let me know, and I will post the link for you. If you're watching this on replay, send me an email at brad@thetradevets.com and I will send you the link to the Discord. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you all later. See you later, Adam. See you, Pop. See you, Roach.
See you, Brad.
Later, TJ.
Hey, bro, good job, man.
Thanks, Kevin. Later.